So we're back from commercial break after that slaughter that Mr. Brody Lee distributed to Mr. Fun Size, Marco Stunt. And it's time now for before we get to the last match of the evening, get a little preview for next week's live Dynamite. First time it's going to be live in at least 3 weeks, maybe over a month. Excuse me, folks. Clear the throat. Get a chest a little bit. Gonna get MJF's gonna be back with us. He's gonna talk about his how's his hangnails and neck cuts going. Wonder if Wardlow will be with him. Probably somewhere lurking. And we're also gonna get a main event next week. We're gonna get the individual who is now admittedly openly responsible for harnessing the spirit of Damascus, Matt Hardy. And his partner, Kenny Omega, the AAA World Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega, in a street fight. I'm not done, folks. Those two individuals are on a team. And they're in a street fight versus the Inner Circle. Who from the Inner Circle? Les Sex Gods, Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Now, I got to say this to you right now, folks, just out of my sheer immeasurable respect to the vessel known as Matt Hardy. I don't see any way that they even let Matt Hardy taste the smell of an L, meaning a loss, in his first match in the company. Not with the way they debuted him. So if he does get a loss, it's got to be some total type of shenanigans going on. But the way I see this going, folks, is even if there is a total type of crazy shenanigans going on, which there probably will be, that Matt Hardy and Omega will still pick up the victory. Why? Because like I mentioned in part 1 of this show, the Inner Circle, they already teased some slight derision within them. What does derision mean? It means decay from within. It means non-productive actions and behavior from within a group or a team or family, etc. We had our first real taste of this bickering and bantering of the Inner Circle from their Brady Bunch wannabe stuff earlier in the evening. Will it carry over into next week's main event? Tremendous show they got planned for us for Dynamite next week, and it's going to be live on TNT. And here we go. Out first, Lance Archer, coming out 3-0, undefeated in his AEW career. Now, I don't know who the third match was against. I only know that he faced Marco Stunt and Colt Cabana. Now, this could have been a typo from AEW's standpoint, given the result of the match away before the match even starts. It could have been, or I could just be off and just not knowing that he had another match with someone. I didn't hear either announcer make reference to the third match. You know, folks, I haven't been able to watch every single thing put out by AEW. I'm a coach. I help. I have other works going on gratefully. And, so, now with me picking the show back up again where we are, you rest assured I will be in more of knowing of what's going on with the competitors in any company that I'm going over. Performers, employees, etc. Okay, now let's get this out of the way immediately now with Archer. Now he's coming out, he comes out, the second we see him, we don't even see him first. We see a guy backtracking in regular street clothes, and then we see Archer coming out of the tunnel where the guy came out of too, the left tunnel, which seems to be the heel tunnel in this episode, on the entranceway. Archer's beating the crap out of this guy. He's beating the shit out of him. He hits him so hard, it looks like he cracked his cranium on the skull outside, because they're not in the ring yet. And that guy shouldn't even be in the ring, but Archer's just abusing him. Because he's doing this, he's a monster, freak, animal character, right? So he's doing it, and he comes out, he got the intensity, you gotta love it, but he's circling the ring like the shark. He's doing you're really similar to Brock Lesnar, gotta say it. Pointing everyone, he's doing the intimidation thing. And, Jericho and Savani is selling this guy. They're doing what they got to do. And, from what I've seen, this guy is a beast. We know he's a legitimate MMA guy. He's had success. But it doesn't always necessarily carry over into the squared circle known as professional wrestling. It doesn't. I want it to for Mr. Archer. But let's see what he's going to do. And right away, for me personally, I don't care. People might not like this. I don't care. For me, in the LeveLsoM side of things, you got to get rid of this garbage Mickey Mouse theme music. You're trying to present the guy as a heel. And, I don't know the lyrics. I haven't tried to listen to the lyrics yet. I'm a huge wrestling music fan. If you check out any of my playlists, you're going to hear a lot of wrestling themes on average. Okay? So, this guy's supposed to be billed as a monster heel, he's a quote-unquote killer. He's supposed to be he's coming out the music that's immediately gives me the feels of like the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. And that's not a knock on those groups or music like that. It has its place. But this guy is supposed to be a monster killer animal heel. And he's coming out the music that sounds like softcore, extra soft ice cream. It just doesn't make sense. And then you got Jericho selling him, saying, he's like out of a horror movie. And Jericho's saying this while the guy's parading around in the ring, and he's got this Mickey Mouse lollipop music playing for him. Now, like I said, I don't know the lyrics, but I'm just saying the vibe, the essence of the music playing is not matching what we're presenting. And this is the first time we're seeing this guy in the quote unquote main event spot. So it just doesn't lend itself well to immediately getting over it. He's supposed to be this freak that you should be terrified of. Because he's got these bright colors on, he can be easily mistaken as a face. Okay, he smiles. All right, the only thing you can really tell that makes him a heel is that, people back away. But people will back away from Jon Moxley. Or you say Jon Moxley's not the original babyface type. Oh, that's fine. But what we're saying here is that Lance Archer is supposed to be an extra scary heel. And he's got music that sounds like Mickey Mouse. So you say, but that's the point. That could be a horror movie. Like in the Now movement era, like things will change it up. Like, yeah, it's scary because he's got this nice music, so that makes it scary. All right, I get it. I'm all for that. I'm a creator myself. I produce my own. I get it. I appreciate that stuff. But let's leave that stuff for Hollywood, where this is a wrestling show. Let's leave all that extra curricular. This is a wrestling show. I'm trying to buy into Lance Archer's character. I'm not going to buy in when every time he comes out to the ring, I don't even care if Jake the Snake is with him. Yeah, give him a remix of Jake the Snake's AEW music, please. Because you want to get this guy, he's got a little video package like barbed wire going around something. He's got fire, electric wire. I don't know what I see there. It looks like a telephone pole, electric pole wire. I don't know what it is. All right. And folks, please don't take anything of what I'm saying from me disliking Lance Archer. That's not the case here. I haven't seen enough of him to know how much I like him or if I dislike him. Right now, I'm more on just immediately wanting him to get over. Okay? And little things like this are not so little to me. It's these little things like that. Let's see if we can get some new theme music. That's all I'm saying. Give the guy some more different theme music. I haven't heard the lyrics again, but the essence of that music is just garbage when compared to what you're trying to present this guy as. And again, no disrespect to the band that made the song. I'm talking about the character Lance Archer. Out next is Dustin Rhodes, legend, 31 years. He's 7-3 in 2020. He's 10-6 in his overall AEW career. Now here's a guy who is a 31-year ring veteran. A legend would be an understatement. I watched this guy early on in my life. When he must have debuted when I was in still. If he debuted in 95, I was still in single digits of my life. Okay, so I've been watching him since then. I remember when he was the new character, Gold Dust. I remember that live. This guy deserves, if there's somebody I wanted to win this TNT championship, is Dustin Rhodes. He doesn't need it. I already explained that in part 1. Okay, but folks, come on. Archer didn't need this victory. Lance Archer did not need this victory. He could have been placed anywhere in the card. Anywhere. All right. Can it make the story that much more compelling if Cody will defeat Archer and avenge his brother? All right. So it's not really avenging his brother because he would have faced his brother if his brother would have won. And Cody would have wanted to win. Okay? So, like I said, I know the quarantine and no fans and all this stuff. It kind of gets to you after a while. These are taped episodes. They were probably doing a lot with a little bit of time they had. And they had to just fit everything in that they could and maximize the time that they had. And, you know, this is what we have. I'm not complaining as much as I'm just going over the product. Dustin Rhodes is out next. He's out there with Brandy Rhodes. And again, credit to the Nightmare Collective, the Nightmare family. Because Brandy Rhodes had an injury angle earlier in the night, and she still comes out here to support the Nightmare Collective, her brother-in-law, and she also manages to change her clothes and still look fresh and hot for us. Thank you, Brandy, for accepting the eye candy that you immeasurably are. All due respect to Cody. So, Rhodes is out here. And folks, this match was awesome. It had everything. They told Dustin, helped Archer tell an amazing story. I have never seen Archer. I mean, I'm sure Colt Cabana had some offense on Archer. But where I was watching that on my end, I think I might have had a signal issue where, you know, on my feed, it actually skipped over the match and I just wound up seeing the end, like when Archer was just celebrating. But still, as far as I'm concerned, we've never really seen any real offense done towards and on Archer. And Dustin Rhodes was able to do that. And he almost won this match in a very similar fashion to the way Cody won his match earlier in the evening, where he took the finisher. Dustin took Archer's finisher, which was the choke slam. And he reversed the pin of it and rolled up Archer, and we almost had a Dustin Rhodes victory. Right there. Almost. But not quite. To Archer's credit, big tough son of a gun. Maniac. Powerful guy. And Dustin still hung in there. But this is where, folks, now we come to an issue that I have. And potentially my lowest point in watching and enjoying AEW product, All Elite Wrestling product. This whole TNT tournament has been wrestling matches, meaning matches with the rules enforced. So out of nowhere now, in this match, we get the guy using a chair with no problems. Hell, he even busted Dustin Rhodes wide open. We know Dustin Rhodes loves to bleed if you listen to his backstage interviews. So he busted him wide open. No, match still goes on. Lance Archer teases ripping the turnbuckle pad off to expose the metal ring under the pad. And he does it. No problem. Then he proceeds to bash Dustin Rhodes into the metal ring. He bashes Dustin Rhodes' head into the metal ring, the exposed ring turnbuckle, repeatedly over and over again after he was already bleeding from the chair shot. And there's no DQ called. But in the meantime, all the other TNT tournament matches took place in a wrestling rules match. Straight up wrestling 101 matchups. But this one is just a free-for-all for whatever reason. And the only thing that we had stated about it on the air as to why it was different than the other ones was Chris Jericho fortunately saying, well, you know, these TNT tournament matches that they each have like rules of their own. And I'm summarizing what he said. I'm paraphrasing what he said. Which ultimately what he said was still vague. But I feel it was an attempt to try to make sense out of the nonsense we were seeing, because the guy's deliberately breaking the rules, and we're having this tournament within traditional wrestling match rules. So, and he winds up winning the match, as I've already spoiled for you in part 1 of this episode. So, Archer wins the match. It's a fun thing at the end there where, you know, Dustin Rhodes tells they both tell a great story in this match. QT Marshall comes out, you know, we know that they're good friends, and he's within the Nightmare Collective, they're all close. QT Marshall comes out with the towel, with the white towel, ready to throw it in there for Dustin for him to give up. And out comes Cody, Dustin's little brother, right behind QT Marshall, saying, no, man, don't throw that towel in there. Great storytelling. You know, if you rewind 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had the great promo where Cody's in his office and Dustin calls him, and Dustin's going over how big and how much this tournament means to him. So yeah, you damn straight, little brother Cody's going to come out there and make sure that nobody throws the towel in and will potentially destroy the possibility of us two brothers being the first to fight for this title and what it would mean for this company and just wrestling in general. Okay? And Dustin Rhodes grabs the towel and tries to throw it in Archer's face. Brandy's there trying to cheer him on. It just ultimately is just too much of an onslaught. I mean, Archer broke the rules throughout the whole match. He's chokeslamming him left and right. Eventually, Dustin's going down, and he did. Archer gets the victory. We get a little stare down between him and Cody, because apparently that's going to be the TNT finals match. Cody and Lance at Double or Nothing. Now, if you ask me, I feel like they may have set up an angle to turn this thing into a triple threat match, because this needs to be addressed that every other match followed the rules. So maybe we're turning this thing into a triple threat match at Double or Nothing between the Rhodes brothers and Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. Oh yeah, and by the way, Jake the Snake will be on the outside, potentially with Arn Anderson too on the outside, along with Brandy probably on the outside. Excuse my speaker while it powers down. That'll make for some good pay-per-view action. If this thing turns into a triple threat, because it honestly needs to, because the guy who supposedly made his way to the finals did nothing but cheat throughout his semifinal match. If it's not a triple threat, he should be disqualified. This is not going to hurt Archer. He's a beast. He's going to be around. Either way, Archer wins the match. He moves to 4-0 in his AEW career. Rhodes takes the loss. He drops to 7-4 in 2020. And 10-7 in his overall AEW career. Excellent match. And by the way, I got to point out a spot in this match where it just points out the pure ability of Archer. You know, he walks the top rope, not the turnbuckle. I'm talking about Undertaker style. And yes, we know that the Lucha Brothers, they walk the top rope too, but they're in their own category because they run across the rope. Okay? They're in a different thing with that. But Archer, when he does it, you can't help it. You're screaming Undertaker when he's doing it. The only thing is here that he's holding Dustin's arm while he's walking the rope. Hence why you're thinking even more Undertaker. And we know that Pentagon Jr. does this too. And so does Ray Phoenix. But at least they make emphasis on doing damage to the arm. When Archer did it, it didn't look like he put Dustin Rhodes in an arm wrench. It looked like he may have, I could be wrong. He may have put him in the arm wrench. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he did. But to Dustin's credit, Dustin just winds up selling the ass kicking, the ass beating has taken thus far in the matchup to excuse why he's just going to stand there and let this big giant walk across the rope while he's holding his arm and not just pull his big ass off the rope and do some offense. I mean, come on. You got this big guy, he's holding the guy's arm there, and he's just going to let you hold the arm while he's walking across the rope. If he didn't have that thing in an arm wrench, Dustin did a good job of trying to help people remember why he's not going to just pull him off the rope, because he was selling the ass kicking he just took. Okay, now back to Lance, giving credit to Lance Archer. This guy walks all the way across the ring, and just like The Undertaker, and you think The Undertaker, but The Undertaker went only a quarter of the way. No, if you go back, if you're a real Taker fan, you know that there were times where Undertaker walked clean across. He walked 92, 93, 94% across the ring. Go back and look at it. Shit, he would do it sometimes in the late 90s still, walking that far across. But Lance Archer basically did the same damn thing here. And he evolved it to the now level. Because my man, he just didn't come off the rope and pound you. No, he turned around and proceeded to do a moonsault off the top rope, not the turnbuckle, off the rope itself. And then he hits 90% of, sometimes you'll do these moves and you'll see like he barely hits the guy. No. Archer lands 90% of his body on top of Rhodes here. A tremendous spot. Everybody pops. Even Jericho is talking about, man, I gotta get out. I might blow out Jake's knees and take this guy from him because this guy's awesome. But also it's because, dude, why are you doing a move like that if it's not going to cause you to get the victory? This is going back to my first point in this episode in part 1. Why are we seeing these kind of moves and they're not going to finish the match? What we saw that guy do with that move was unbelievable. We've never seen that. And if somebody asks, we've never seen it on the mainstream television platform until when Sir Lance Archer did it. And you're telling me that after that, because he did it towards the end of the match too, by the way. And you're telling me that after that whole beating Dustin had taken already, that tremendous feat of athleticism and strength wasn't enough to do it? Let's hone it in. Let's hone in the skills. Let's not make a mockery out of our infinite creation known as pro wrestling. And anybody that's anybody that's probably even a halfway wrestling fan is going to say, well, listen, you sound like an idiot. You're talking about making a mockery out of something that's fake. All right. It's not fake. The outcomes are pre-planned. The risk that you're watching is real. Everything you're watching is a real risk. People have been paralyzed during wrestling matches. So you keep calling it fake if you want. I'll call you an asshole. I don't care. It's my show. So, I can't emphasize enough. It would be, I didn't want Dustin to lose, and I still say Dustin should be in the finals. It just makes the championship, it just makes that TNT championship moniker so much more prestigious. If you have both Rhodes brothers battling for it to be the first one. It makes it that much more prestigious for anyone else who ever has the appreciation and earns the ability to wear that title around their waist. Nothing against Lance Archer. He didn't have to be in this tournament. But he is. And he's in the finals for now. like I said, I'm looking forward to next week's Dynamite. Maybe we'll see some good wrestling show here where we mix things up and it turns into a triple threat because it rightfully deserves to. I mean, the guy who won the match is the guy who cheated the most in the match. Something wrong with that. We run a prestigious tournament here. So we're going to tank the finals with a cheater, huh? And bad enough, he's supposed to be this monster heel, scary dude, but he's got to cheat, huh? And then on top of that, he can't get caught cheating, huh? I don't like the angle. I like the competitor. Let's see what happens on next week's Dynamite. Folks, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. If it's one of you, 10 of you, 115, whatever it turns out to be, I am in infinite appreciation. Please share this show. Please let them know you heard about this show. Please tell them you done found something very unique here that talks about wrestling and like mental wellness and like spiritual stuff. It just goes all around. And this has only been one episode, folks. At the very least, we're going to do these once a week. Okay? At the very least. You're going to be able to download these episodes. You're going to be able to have them because ultimately they're daily motivations. And at least they're weekly motivations. You can download these episodes. You don't want to download them. You want to save the space in your phone. Good. Just bring it open in the app. Come on YouTube. Have a listen, feel, vent. Let yourself exercise your mental knots. Let yourself clear out. Exercise your demons. Get the mental clarity. Enjoy the role. Enjoy the flow. Enjoy the learning. Like I said, they're going to come out at least once a week. It's going to be your mental wellness, your mental health, your review of Dynamite, some WWE probably, a little bit of Hollywood, some sports when they start up, a little bit of random. It's about anything. Why? Because this main allowance of this output of information is you. It's your ability to be free. It's about understanding. You are creating your reality based off of what you have constantly been paying attention to, both consciously and unconsciously, both openly and secretly. Allow yourself to accept the infinite creation you always are. Be you. You are the LeveLsoM. I am LeveLsoM. You are LeveLsoM. You are you. I am me. I am you. You are me. We are LeveLsoM. We are LeveLsoM. We are LeveLsoM. We are LeveLsoM. Are you LeveLsoM? You are LeveLsoM.